How's it going, everyone? Want to take this video to highlight some PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 game deals that are available right now on more recently released titles. Not a ton of deals to go over, so this is going to be a quicker video, but definitely want to note some stuff, especially because some of the more recent releases have been discounted as well, so we'll talk all about that. Got about 7 games or so to go over, so let's get right into it. Let's start things off with Wild Hearts, seeing its first discount. Man, do EA games go on sale fairly quickly. When I see deals like Wild Hearts already available for $49.99, I'm kind of inclined to say a game like Star Wars Jedi Survivor, I am so looking forward to that game, but if Wild Hearts is going on sale fairly quickly, Dead Space Remake is seeing its fair share of discounts, you know, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, by summertime, I could see really good deals being available for that. I do believe that that's one game that's going to hold up in value a little bit more than some of these titles, like a Wild Hearts. It's a new IP. It's one of these EA Originals games, so I see why it dropped in price fairly quickly. $49.99 is a fairly good price for it. It's a game that I really enjoyed, played quite a bit of it on PC. Unfortunately, the PC version is an absolute abomination, so that's not great, but the combat itself I found very, very enjoyable. I'm not going to say it's like a blow-away game from a visual standpoint, but it looks fine. I think the game has some really nice color to it. If you like this style of game, $49.99 isn't a bad price, but being an EA game, I could see it getting cheaper, again, by summer period. But yeah, Wild Hearts for $50, not a bad deal on that. Dead Space Remake is down to $55, which, you know, isn't a substantial discount. We have seen it down to $49.99, but $55 is a nice 20% off discount for a game that came out, what, 2 months ago? Dead Space Remake, in my opinion, is excellent. Obviously, the standards for remakes in general are just so sky high now with titles like the Dead Space Remake, with titles like Resident Evil 4. And Resident Evil 4 is a game that came out at $60 versus Dead Space Remake coming out at $70. So those are things you do have to take into account. But Dead Space Remake was fantastic. If you have to decide between Dead Space and the RE4 remake, I mean, I'm going to side with the RE4 remake, but Dead Space was really good as well. And the atmosphere and the tension in this game is just fantastic, so $55, not a bad deal on that either. Another EA title over at GameStop, you can get Need for Speed Unbound for $35, which I think is a fairly decent deal. You know, this is a game that came out in December to very little fanfare. Now, it did come out the same day as Marvel Midnight Sun and the Callisto Protocol. Interesting thing about that day is I feel like all 3 of those games, that day of December 2nd, I believe it was, all 3 of those games kind of flopped in their own way. I think with Marvel's Midnight Suns and Need for Speed Unbound, it was more so the promotional aspect. With Callisto Protocol, I think it was from a quality standpoint. So kind of interesting how all 3 of those dropped at the same day. Nonetheless, they all have their redeeming qualities, and Need for Speed Unbound for $35, I do think is a pretty decent buy. It's just, you know, $70 for a Need for Speed game is going to be steep right out the gate, but given that this went on sale really quickly after coming out, you know, EA titles, been noticing this more with EA games. Obviously, the sports games are bound to go on sale quickly, so you really can't count those as far as EA games going on sale quickly, but when you're seeing titles like Wild Hearts, Dead Space Remake, and Need for Speed Unbound going on sale fairly quickly, you know, that's one of the publishers that I have noticed, you know, their games are going on sale quicker and quicker. Not at the rate of, let's say, and not at the speed of, let's say, a Ubisoft release, but one publisher that I have noticed that their games do see discounts more often than not fairly quickly. Next up, Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, the Hinokami Chronicles, $29.99 for that new. I wanted to mention this just because the new season of this is kicking off very shortly. I believe it's next week. A lot of hype, a lot of anticipation for the Swordsmith Village arc. This game is fine. If you're a fan of Demon Slayer, you're probably going to end up enjoying it, but yeah, obviously you do have to be a fan. These arena fighters are definitely for fans first and foremost, but $30 for that. Resident Evil 2 down to $14.99. Look, if you don't want to spend the $60 on RE4 right now, RE2 is absolutely tremendous, has a nice PS5 upgrade to it as well, and yeah, $15 for RE2, definitely a great buy there. Great remake as well. You know, a lot of the people that worked on the RE2 remake worked on the RE4 remake as well, and that quality definitely shines through, so $15 for that is great. King of Fighters 15, $19.99 on that. Pretty good deal for the King of Fighters 15, a relatively well-received fighter there. If you want to check it out for $20, I feel like that's a great buy. Like a Dragon Ishin, and $39.99 on this. First discount that I've seen for Like a Dragon Ishin, so great price on this, given that, again, this came out like a month and a half ago, and seeing it for $40, that's obviously a great pickup. And then lastly, I do want to give a shout out to Mato Anomalies, which is already down to $29.99. Another game that came out fairly recently. $30 for this, I think, is quite good. Definitely, this is a JRPG that you need to kind of go into it expecting something, you know, that is a lower budget title. It came out at $40, and that definitely shines through. It's not a full $60 game, absolutely not that, but there's still fun to be had with it, and I think overall you are going to end up enjoying the game if you're a fan of more budget-oriented JRPGs. Interesting story, interesting casting characters. I think for 30 bucks it's a good buy. Maybe wait for it to get a little bit cheaper, but given it just came out, I thought that was worth a mention as well. But that is going to do it for me. Again, wanted to highlight some physical deals in this video. Links to everything, as always, in the description box down below. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.